Let's take a look at the highlight here tonight in San Antonio. Game 5, the first closeout opportunity for either team in this 14 finals. A 5th ring on the table for Tim Duncan, LeBron James, and the Heat in need of some inspiration.
Leave it out there, everything, man. Let's head back to Miami, all right, for Game 6. Take care of business, offensive, defensively, fly around. Follow my lead.
3 and 4 on the road. Diop.
And it looked like he was going to lead the way early on. Grant, 17 points in the first quarter out of James.
LeBron came out smoking, came out on fire, and certainly they followed his lead, getting up big early against the Spurs.
The throwdown there, it was an 8-0 lead. San Antonio, meanwhile, missed their first 6 shots of the game. Tony Parker couldn't buy a bucket early on for most of the game, in fact. James driving the other way. And it's 19-5, and it looked like the champs were going to send us back to South Florida.
I was starting to become a believer, and with that type of energy and activity from all of the Heat players, I started to think, you know, and the question probably will be asked, why take your foot off the throttle?
Yeah.
And particularly LeBron James.
So Shane Battier getting into it with Ginobili in what turned out to be Battier's final game as an NBA pro. Be doing TV next year. Kawhi Leonard, the jumper over LeBron in the second, and Spurs are inching back into it because, as you said, it appeared the Heat took their feet off the gas collectively. Tim Duncan, the hook. They went to him repeatedly when Udonis Haslem was in the game to guard him, and Duncan made them pay for that mismatch.
Yeah, and if you watch the offensive plays early, San Antonio was getting what they want. The flying around for Miami was on the offensive end, but when you saw, they just kept missing shots. And this guy, Kawhi Leonard, has been getting the message all year. Be aggressive, we trust you. Be aggressive, we trust you. That trust is paid off for the San Antonio Spurs.
How confident was that stroke? And that was the Spurs' first lead of the game in front of former Governor Rick Perry. Ginobili drives inside, and then Ginobili high and mighty, and Manu just went big game hunting against Chris Bosh.
Hit it one time for Chuck since he's not in.
Ginobili! I'm
go,
still in that big game hunting. Nice one, man.
Would you say that big 3 by Kawhi was the moment?
The turning point.
Yes. The turning point.
Yes.
He's now a superstar.
And also, he grew up. Yeah, the George Paul dunk, the Paul George. Yeah, he's here.
Great defense at the rim all series long without fouling by the Spurs, including that play on Dwayne Wade. And then it's Kawhi to the rim.
I think we saw emotion from Kawhi at some point in the celebration. I actually caught some.
We did. After they won, yes, he did celebrate through a fist.
Christine had a photo of it.
That gave the Spurs a 10-point lead. Patty Mills goes baseline. LeBron, his bad. Didn't matter at that point. It was really over. The Heat ceased to score more or less, and the Spurs were knocking down everything. Patty Mills had an out-of-body experience in the third quarter. Just out of his mind.
But you know, you have to give him credit, because the thing I love about this storyline is that Patty Mills didn't play well. Green didn't play well last year. These guys had to come up and play well. Patty Mills loses weight over the summer, comes in focused, and you see the hard work and the dedication pays off.
14 in the third quarter for Mills, 5 of 5 from the field. He scored 8 straight points at one time. And then in the fourth, the Spurs did keep the foot on the gas. It's Tony Parker finally getting into it offensively. Bosh can't connect on the lob. And on the other end, it's Tony Parker. 20-point lead. Not a whole lot James can do about it. Eric Spoelstra can only push so many buttons with the Spurs operating at such a great level of efficiency in this series. Lots of questions about the Miami Heat moving forward. We'll get into that probably less so tonight, but over the coming week or so. What's to become of the big 3 Heat, with potential free agency looming for all 3 of them. Great respect to the 2 longest tenured coaches in the NBA, Greg Popovich and Eric Spoelstra. And the hug, respect between Pop and James, and of course Pat Riley as well, who he tied with a 5th championship.